Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Sumi and today I am going to discuss the qualities of literature and its objectiveness. Now, people often seek to know what are the qualities of literature. So in this video, I will be discussing first the qualities of literature and then I will move on to discuss the objectives of literature. So as my area of study is English literature, I will be giving examples related to English literature. So let's move on. So let us start with the qualities of literature. Now, there are four basic qualities of literature. They are artistic quality, suggestiveness, permanence, and universality. Artistic quality. Now, what is artistic quality? Artistic, as we know, is related to art. What has literature to do with art? We get often confused. Now, first quality, that is the artistic quality. Literature is an expression of life in every form. Life in every form of beauty, terms of beauty and truth. Now, how it is related to truth and beauty? Now, let me give you an example. People who understands literature, they tries to seek or they tries to find truth and beauty in every form of art, in every part of their life. Whereas for a person who do not have enough knowledge of literature, for him or her, they only seek for the surface reality. For them, a rose is only a flower, but for a person who has knowledge of literature, for him or her, it is more than a flower. They can relate that flower to their emotions and feelings. So that is the first quality of literature, that is its artistic nature. Now let us move to the next quality. Now the next quality is suggestiveness. Now as we all know that literature, it is artistic in nature. Now to suggest means it appeals to our emotions and imagination. Now when we see a rose, we will immediately, as a student of literature, it will immediately seek to my emotions and feelings. I may have some memory related to that flower which will come back as flashbacks in my mind. But for a person who do not have enough knowledge of literature, for him it's just a flower, it's a beautiful object, he will admire it and so forth and so forth. So for him it's just a flower. But for me, as I am a student of literature, I will try to find my emotions in that flower. The flower will be an object which will suggest me something related to my past, something which will help me in bringing back my emotions, my feelings for that moment. And that is the second quality of literature, its suggestiveness. Now the next quality of literature is its permanence. Now what is permanent? How can literature be permanent? Of course the question is evident. But I will try to explain you how it will be permanent. Now to be permanent, let me tell you. Literature has the quality of permanence because literature helps us in preserving beautiful objects. Now you will ask me how? I will tell you that yes, it's true that literature helps us in preserving beautiful objects because when we see a flower and suppose we see a flower in our garden, we come back to our home and I just try to write something on the flower. So that few lines will remain with me for a lifelong period. The flower may fade one day, but not my emotions for that flower which I have preserved in my writing. So in this way, great poets like Shakespeare try to preserve their loved ones in their writing. So that is the third quality of literature, which is its permanence. Now the fourth quality of literature is its universality. Now how can literature seek universalism? As I have already told you that literature seeks for human emotions and feelings, so it does not differentiate between gender, race, male, female, etc. It is equal for everyone and it Apart from that, it also tries to make people understand regarding um, human emotions like love, hate, then fear, fate, universal brotherhood, and all that. There are many things in literature which will help you in growing as a beautiful person living in this world. So that is the fourth quality of literature. Let me sum up one more time. The first quality of literature is its artistic quality. The second is its suggestiveness. The third is its permanence, and the fourth is its universality. So, if we sum up all these qualities, it will be in front of us that what are the qualities which we should look for in literature. Now let us move to the objectives of literature. What objective it has within it. So there is no doubt that we read literature for pleasure. Even if we don't have enough knowledge or we do not have a deeper analysis or a deeper understanding of literature, we can read literature just to seek pleasure. But for a person who wants to know deeper into what literature is all about, for him literature should not only be related to pleasure, it should be a little bit more than that. So what is it? So the main objective of literature is to realize the ideal facts of our life. We human beings, we do many things in our life. We play, we eat, we sleep, we do our regular activities. But there are two things here. The first is that we do these things consciously, but we have an unconscious mind as well. That unconscious mind, it has many things within it. So what these things are that we try to imagine. As for example, we can imagine that one day I will visit this and this place, one day I will buy this with my money and all that. So these are imagination. Now what literature does is that it seeks our desirable facts of our life. So how? So let me give you an example. Suppose we read a book, and in that book, or a story or a novel, so in that book it is the storyline is such that a girl, she belongs to a very poor family, but with her hard work one day she achieves a higher position in her life. So you can relate actually to that. If you belong to that, if you also has gone through such emotions or such struggle in your life, then you can definitely relate to it. So this is how literature tries to connect your imagination with with actual facts of life. So that is one thing. Then the next objective is that we should read literature not only for pleasure. That is the first objective. Now the second objective is that literature, it is different from other subjects. Now how? Let me tell you. Let me take two subjects, history and literature. And let me take a similar topic in both the subjects, the Anglo-Saxon period. Now, in history, what we will get to know is only about who the Anglo-Saxons are and what they used to do. We will get to know that they are warriors, they used to fight very hard in battlefields, and they used to struggle very hard in their life. It won't say anything about what are their actual emotions and feelings, all that. But literature, on the other hand, will try to make you understand that yes, they are very brave, they are warrior like and all that, but it will also tell you that these and these are the things that they are actually made of. Anglo-Saxon people, they are also human beings, and as human beings they also have emotions. What kind of emotions? Love, hate, fear, all that. Fate in a particular thing. What are their ideas about life and death? So literature will help you know better the Anglo-Saxons. History will only tell you about the facts relating to the Anglo-Saxons, but literature will tell you that yes, they are warriors, they are brave, they are courageous, but they are also this, that is, they are human beings. And as human beings, they also seek those emotions of love, hatred, and all that. So this take me back to Aristotle's Poetics, where he said that poetry is more serious and philosophical than history because poetry or literature as such, it seeks to go deeper into our life, into our emotions and feelings. So in this video, uh, if you have gone through the whole video, you will get to know that first I have discussed the qualities of literature, which are four in number. First is artistic quality, second is its suggestiveness, third is its permanence, and fourth is its universalism. Then I have discussed what are the objectives of literature. Literature as a subject not only seeks or not only teaches you the basic facts of life, but it also tries to make you realize the emotions and feelings that we sometimes seek to hide from our society. So that is all for today, and if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. Hope to see you in my next video. Till then, bye